Oh, there we go. Good afternoon, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. And Bill, yes, you are right. TSM. Been talking about it since last week. If any company can bring some renewed optimism or much needed optimism for some of those tech trades, TSM definitely came out of the gate swinging $1 trillion in revenue. We're going to break it down in just a moment. Other than that, major indices look good. Major indices look good. We got 3 green lights right now across the color guard. So the market timing gauge, we're 3 ticks into the green. VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. So we're seeing some renewed optimism in the markets. I like what I'm seeing here. The alert should be hitting in just a moment here. I set that. I'll give everyone just a moment, make their way into the room. But just looking at the major indices here, and no surprise, we're seeing the NASDAQ leading the charge, especially with TSM's enthusiastic earnings coming out this morning, up 0.83%. But also look at the broad market, VectorVest Composite up 0.8%. So not just strength in the semiconductors and the AI trades, but we're seeing broad market strength here. In addition to that, all 3 of our proprietary market timing indicators trending higher from the prior day and the prior week. We're seeing momentum here. I like it. Alfredi says, hi, VV family. It's a great day in the market. Yes, yes. Intel is the most undervalued stock in the whole wide world. I don't know about that, Mr. David. I don't know about that. I will say I think Intel is one of the most supported semiconductor stocks that, they're not going to let it fail. It's a massive fab. Russell 2000 is actually leading the small caps. Interesting. Small caps coming back. All right. Let's get back into the software here. Let's jump right into it. Hopefully I set the alert right. Joey, did you get an alert? I didn't get it. You did get it? Okay. Okay. It always makes me feel good when I see it on my phone. Oh, man. I tell you what, the stock I'm trading right now is Iron. Yes, I've got some calls on Iron, so I'm trying to get that $54 break. Who else is holding Iron in the group here? Who else is holding Iron? Anybody? Chris said it just hit. Nice. Intel sucks. And yeah, they're behind the curve, but they're just an important company. We'll see what happens with Intel, but I feel like Intel got Intel at 18, made 3 bags on options. And every time it's AMD, it's a partnership with NVIDIA, it's the government, right? It's nothing that really Intel is doing. But there are some major players coming into Intel's rescue. So it doesn't look like Intel's going to fail. Now, it is definitely overvalued in the VectorVest metrics. And if I'm going to look at a semiconductor, I'm still on Team Micron right now. ABB says yes on Iron. We'll take a look at Iron. We will. Hopefully it breaks above that $54 mark. I got the $54 call I bought earlier today. I've actually normally play the AMD and the Qs, but I've been starting to do some option trades on Iron. This is the 3rd one I've done this week. And right now on this trade, up slightly. Let's see here. Up about 7% right now. So if we get that breakout above 54, that would be nice. We'll see if it happens. All right, let's get to it here. Now, before we get too far in the software, let's just jump right into the news stories today, because it's pretty straight to the point today. All right, so we've got earnings, right? We have Bank of America was yesterday. Wells Fargo was yesterday. Citigroup. Just looking at the EPS compared to the consensus, it looks like they've all beat. So positive information there. As far as today, we had Taiwan Semi before the bell here. The consensus was 282. Last year, look at last year's earnings per share, 224. Interesting. Morgan Stanley as well as Goldman Sachs today as well. So a lot of big financial institutions, but the focus today, why we're seeing the enthusiasm, especially in the Qs and the semiconductors, TSM. This is one of my 2026 picks here. I chose them over NVIDIA. Either way, definitely Micron's in my portfolio. But look at this here. Profit jumps 35%. 35% by AI chip demand. It's the world's largest contract chip maker. That's the reason why I picked them, because it doesn't matter, if it's, AMD or NVIDIA or, Google's and Broadcom's TPUs, Amazon. It doesn't matter which one it is. They all use TSM, right? So, if there's a gold rush, this is the company producing, those shovels, right? Producing those shovels. I like TSM. It's a powerhouse of a stock here. I would say personally, I like Micron better, but I think TSM, other than the China, because China is the X factor. We all know that. If you're holding TSM, obviously you want to pay attention to what's going on with China and Taiwan. But this is phenomenal here. Look, 7 nanometer or smaller. Again, they do the advanced side of things, right? 77% of total wafer revenue during this quarter. So they're really specializing and homing in on those smaller nodes and smaller nanometers, more advanced AI chips here. But look at this is where it's at. Look at the revenue. $1 trillion. Taiwanese dollars. That's 33 billion US dollars here. That's quite a bit. I'm just curious, what is NVIDIA's revenue? Oh, why is it not showing me here? Anybody know? Let's just do AI mode. See what it says here. I'm just curious. $130 billion. Holy moly, that's a lot of money. A whole lot of money here. All right, it looks like iron did break out above 54, so that's good. Looks like the contract's up a little bit more. That is phenomenal here. The world's largest contract chip maker, year-over-year profit growth for 8 consecutive quarters. This company's making money quarter over quarter and now year over year. 8 quarters, 2 years in a row. Man, that's massive here. Let's see here. Revenue from current quarter to hit between 34 billion, 35 billion, up 4% sequentially, or up 38% year over year at the midpoint. Woo! Asia's largest technology company by market cap has benefited, again, NVIDIA and AMD. They started it out, and then, Amazon and Microsoft and the rest of them figured out TSM makes the good chips. And now they're all using the TSM. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at the stock chart here. Powerhouse of a stock. As well, I do have some of the other big financial institutions. And to make it fun, because I know we've got 3 green lights across the board. So to celebrate today, I'm not going to go off the likes. I know over the last 2-3 weeks, been pretty strict on it. But I'm going to see how many stocks we can cover today. We're going to go for 30 stocks out of the gate. 30 stocks. Don't put them in yet. Please don't put them in yet. We'll get to them in just a moment. We're going to take a look at these real quick first. So the banks still showing momentum to the upside. TSM, 5%. Let's just graph them all. Actually, what I like about these, and I said this, I think it was Monday when I was looking at the banks. But when you look at banks, it reminds me a lot of the gold stocks, the miners, right? Because a lot of them tend to be undervalued. Great double-digit forecasted data. So I like the space in general. So if you find yourself a little, tech heavy, or, these days, a lot of people tend to be, a little mining heavy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you need to diversify a little bit, not necessarily saying these big banks, but banks, financial institutions, brokerages in general, looking pretty hot overall. So let's graph these. Let's just graph them all. All right, Taiwan Semi, a little bit of a upper and lower wick here, a little bit indecision, but still well above the gap. It's consolidation breakout. Let's just look at the value here. Let's switch this over to VectorVest Simple. Yeah, earnings per share is rising. Undervalued. Well, now it jumped up as back to fairly valued, but value is rising, price is rising. And yeah, if you want to, look at a 20-day EMA or 40 and, look at, better entry points, I wouldn't necessarily say buy it today. But overall, it's hard to sleep on Taiwan Semiconductor. If you got NVIDIA or Micron, something else, and you don't have TSM, hey, I get it. But this is a powerhouse of a stock, and that earnings call is really solidifying that point. All right, here's Goldman Sachs. Again, undervalued, chasing value. Look at the earnings per share, rising earnings per share. Even if I add something like earnings growth rate here, again, this is forecasted earnings data. Okay, 16% is faltering, but still double digits. Undervalued, chasing value. This is Morgan Stanley, rising earnings per share, double digits on the earnings growth rate. Again, as I scroll through these stocks,